Hello, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. I'm Erica Bottger, AccuQuilt's creativity expert. It says cutting expert, but you know what? That's Miss Pam. Thank you for joining us today. Miss Pam is off getting ready for her quilt retreat this weekend. She took a much needed day off to get ready and prepared, so I'm filling in for her today. I know the last time I was here substitute teaching, we had a little fun with that. Emily's here though with me.
Here I am. I'm so excited that you're here with us today.
Loving being here, loving being here. Emily's here to keep me on track so that I don't get into trouble. Well, Joe is too.
We'll both get into a little bit of trouble. It's fine.
I feel like Kenyon and Brock might help me get in trouble. I don't know.
It's true.
All right. Ooh, I didn't bring my phone in. I always don't bring I never bring my phone in on Tuesdays, and so I didn't bring it in to see where everybody was watching from. Who's got a phone and can tell me where everybody's watching from?
Let's see what we got on here.
Emily will save me.
Yes. AccuQuilt.
But while we're waiting, we're going to take a look at some of those new projects from our intro video, okay? So let's go ahead and look. We had, first up was Annette L. with this super fun dinosaur pillow. Look at that.
So much fun.
They're like kind of camouflage in with the background, but it's a piece background on that. That's a really cute pillow.
I love the scrappiness of it.
It is, it is. Next up, we've got Glenda H. Now, Glenda made this fantastic musical table runner, except it's really like a piano runner, right? It's over the top of the piano. Yes. And I'm thinking she used the multi-strip die and our music medley die to make that.
That's gorgeous.
Did we find where people are from yet?
Yes, we have Miss Maureen from Golden, Colorado.
No, I love it in Colorado this time of year.
Yes, Martha's,
humid.
I know, right? Martha's checking in from also a very warm Pennsylvania today.
Every place is warm.
And we have Armida, who's in Elk City, Oklahoma.
Oh, well, welcome, welcome. Okay, we've got one more project to look at, and this one was amazing. This one is Patty P, and look how stunning this is. This is a combination of two dies, I think.
Yes.
Which two do you think, Emily?
So this one is the Storm at Sea and the Snail's Trail.
Wonderful, and we did a little research on this.
We did.
So there's a pattern, there's a free pattern that I thought it reminded me of called Shakespeare in the Park, but it isn't exactly the same. And then we found a pattern. So I go ahead and look, but those are the two things involved here.
Yeah, and it's called the Snail Storm quilt pattern, which, like, how cute is that?
Look under Snail Storm.
Perfect.
How
and
cute.
The instructions even use our dies.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
All right, but it's not on our site. Now, today's show is all about curves. It's about embracing your curves, because somehow I seem to teach curves when I'm on Pam's show. But we're going to talk about my favorite all-time die, the glorified 9 patch. Okay, so get your seatbelts on. Here is my picture of the day. So this is my new grandpuppy. This is Millie. She is a 4.5-month-old golden doodle who weighs already 42 pounds and has the longest legs and biggest feet I've ever seen on a puppy in my whole life. She is going to be one big girl, but she is very sweet. She is so sweet.
Such a big baby.
She is so sweet. But I am not used to having such a tall dog in my life.
Right.
She sits her chin on the table already. Oh, so here is my question of the day. Have you ever made a quilt or a project for one of your pets? And I'm going to ask Emily first.
Well, I sure have, and actually coincidentally, I have it here with me today.
And this was not planned out in advance.
This was not planned in any way.
This was not planned in any way.
This was totally spontaneous. So I actually happened to be making this really fun Carpenter's wheel table runner. I literally just took 2 Carpenter's wheel blocks. I sewed the 2 together.
Cute.
and just bound it. I stitched in the ditch to bind and then bound it. It was so simple and easy. And there's 96 pieces in each Carpenter's wheel
Oh, yes,
block.
but it goes together so well,
It
doesn't
really
it?
does. It would have been a nightmare to cut that without the die, but you know, with AccuQuilt, it was a breeze.
So what pet is getting that?
So my friend from college, we used to be roommates, and she was saying that her dog loves to sit on their tabletop while she waits for them to come home from work. And I thought, well, little puppy, obviously you need something comfortable to lay on while you're patiently waiting for mom and dad to come home.
Okay.
So she'll have a very comfortable little table runner that she can lay on.
That's adorable. That's adorable. So we want to know what projects you've made for your pet. You know, when we very first adopted Riley, I made him a bed. I covered a pillow with fleece, and I thought it was so wonderful. And he looked at it and went, eh. So he just considers every quilt that I have ever made for him,
Exactly.
basically. So, all right. Yesterday marked the beginning of our Labor Day sale. You can get 35% off the regular price of select categories, including select Go cutters, dies, cubes, storage, and books. No codes needed to redeem the offer. All the eligible items are already marked down. You can also get started or continue your AccuQuilt journey with our smallest and most portable fabric cutter, the Gomi Starter Set, for just $89.99. That is a significant savings. Now, this starter set includes 2 Go dies to make over 180 patterns, a cutting mat, and 5 easy patterns to help you get started in a flash. It's already marked down, so you don't need a code for that to check out either. It's just ready to roll. It's great for taking along with you. It's definitely the one that Pam said she was going to travel with.
Yeah. Perfect for like the younger quilters too, or like wanting to help out.
Yes.
I love
yes. Now, once my younger ones, once the grands discovered the Go Big Electric, they thought that was what they needed. But what I really have them use is my Gomi.
it. Exactly.
And it's just their size. So today, I'm going to give away one of our glorified 9-patch dies because I love it.
Oh,
so
boy.
be sure and register always for all of our future events on the AccuQuilt event page for your chance to win. Registering means you're registered to win door prizes, and you'll also get event emails. And that way you're not going to miss out on anything exciting like today's tutorial. So Miss Emily will select and announce the winner, the winning registered viewer at the end of the show, so stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna talk about the glorified 9-patch, and I'm gonna show you. Look how fun this is. This is, and it's the quilt behind me. I did this one this morning, getting ready for rehearsal to practice on this machine, because it's a little different. I mean, every machine's different, right? But this is a great first curve project if you're wanting to learn how to sew curves. So we're going to be talking about the pattern behind me. This is the Go Dart Around the 9-patch. It's a free pattern at AccuQuilt.com. So if you don't have the glorified 9-patch, get it today and be sure that you download your pattern before your die arrives. You can have your fabric ready to go. So and it's just so fun. Isn't that pretty? We're going to take a look at some different things to do with this pattern too. But before we get going, I want to give you a little background on this die, Emily.
Love that.
And everybody else. We're all here together, right? So I actively campaigned to get this die made.
Did you really?
I really wanted a glorified 9-patch die. Lynn Gibney has been known to imply that I may have nagged at her a little bit, or a lot, about this die, but whatever I did, it worked, and we got the die. So I want to show you what inspired me to nag for this die. So this is a picture of what started it all. My friend Lisa Worrell is this amazing artist. She does these amazing collage pictures. She's the artist behind Itty Bitty Boo Designs, and this is the entryway to her home,
That's
which,
beautiful.
by the way, is all amazing.
Wow.
It's like walking into a fairyland. And when she was decorating her new house about 12 years ago, she found this unfinished quilt top on eBay for 50 bucks. So here's a couple other pictures. So what she did was take part of it and frame it on her entryway because she needed a big piece of art. And then she did 2 small framed pictures of it, and she did pillows of it. You can see the pillows on her bed. And I asked her about the quilt. She didn't make it, she bought it. And then she also recovered the seat of a chair with it.
Okay, I think that's my favorite one.
Yes,
That's
yes.
so cool.
Now, keep in mind, this is not exactly the same block as our block on board. Because our block on board is more of the classic that has the actual curve. This one had straight lines, so it looks like it's curved, but it isn't really curved.
Sure, sure.
But ours is curved, and it's great. So let's take a look at the die that makes this magical block happen. All right, I've got fabric because we're going to cut another one out because this gives me a chance to get one more made for my quilt I'm working on.
Right.
Okay, here's our die. So just like all of our block on board, we've got all the pieces here so that we can, wait, there it is, so that you can cut it in one pass through. A is your center piece. You only need one of those for each block. B are the outer pieces. This is that curved kite piece. And then these are the side pieces. Now, we're talking curves here, and we have something that we do that's fabulous with our curved piece die, and that is these little notches. Because these notches are going to line up with these notches, and it's going to go together perfectly. So, shall we cut?
I think we shall.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, Erica, actually one of the questions that I feel like we always get from our quilters is, can we make this bob with a cube?
You know, we can't. But thank you for asking. You know, these pieces just are different.
They are.
They're just different, and they're all meant to line up. I mean, we have squares. The square in the center is not the issue. It's all the other pieces.
Exactly.
It's that curved kite piece, and then again, it's those notches.
Sure, yeah. And those
So-
notches are, oh my gosh, they saved the day.
Those notches save the day. We'll see how important they are when we go through this. This is on a 6x24 die board, so it means we can use any of our cutters. So we're going to use our Gomi today because we can.
Perfect.
I'm going to have to dislodge my friend Emmett here. Come here, Emmett.
Sorry, buddy.
Come here, Emmett.
Gotta
He's gonna
go.
watch from over here. You know, Emmett's our mascot on the set.
Yes. Can't miss Emmett.
He's someplace different every time, too.
Exactly. And we have, oh my gosh, Erica, we have so many viewers that are making projects for their pets.
Oh, I am not surprised. What do we have? What kind of projects are they making?
Mary Lou has made quilts for her Frenchie. I love Frenchie.
Oh, Morgan has a Frenchie.
She sure does. Little Pierre. Maybe
Little
Pierre
Pierre.
needs a little dog quilt. Miss Valerie made one for her sister's Greyhound. Greyhounds are pretty dogs.
Greyhounds are pretty dogs. Greyhounds get cold. She needs to make him a coat.
Oh yeah, he does. He needs a little
We've got our
quilted coat.
go-getter that makes dog coats.
Yes, Eliane. She is
Leanne makes those adorable dog coats.
She's unbelievable. Yeah, she makes lots of really, really fun coat patterns and things on her website. So
What else?
Patchwork and poodles.
Yes.
Vita says yes, pet bed.
Yep.
And then Miss Dambra, she made a blanket to go inside the cat carrier so her cats would be nice and cozy when they go to the vet.
That's important because they're not happy usually
Yeah,
when they're in the
they're not too happy,
carrier, are they? Not so much. Okay, well, let's give this a little love. We're going to slide, don't lift, get the mat off. So let's look at our pieces. This is just a basic block, and yet it goes together. People freak out because of the curve. Don't freak out. It's really super easy. I'm going to show you how easy. So just like all the time when I'm making a block, and here I've got some examples here. I'm going to lay them all out. You knew there had to be purple here somewhere, right, Emily?
Of course, of course. I even did purple makeup for you today.
I know. She told me she brought her purple eyeshadow in. Never been so proud. Okay. So here's our center point. Here's our center block. And it doesn't have any notches because it doesn't have any curves. So the next thing are those outer pieces, and these do have a notch.
Thank goodness for those notches.
Thank goodness for the notches, right?
I did my first winding ways a couple of weeks ago, and I channeled you, Erica.
Did you?
I really did. I was using my pins so diligently, and just start at the notch and make your way around.
Yeah?
And it made it so simple.
One of the things it makes it so easy.
Exactly.
It really does.
It's like as long as you have the patience and kind of take your time.
Right, bring your patience. But really, it goes together super fast. Okay, so there's the center part of our block. So that's what we're going to put together first, is the center. So the first thing you want to do is put together this basic 9 patch. So we're going to sew a bead either side of shape A, and you want to make sure your notches are facing out on all of your piece Bs, because those are going to be matching up with our curves. All right, I'm going to grab the iron over here real quick because, excuse me, and turn it on, because I'm going to be pressing.
Ooh, we're using the Steam Fast today. I love that one.
I do too, and it's just a little bigger, a little heavier. I like it when I'm using the curves. All right, I'm going to sew these 2 A's to either side. I'm going to sew these together as well. So let's do the center section first, and Emily, you can tell us about pet projects.
Yes, we have so many fun ones. Okay, so one viewer says, initially no, but my dog needed a blanket, and so I have one that I practice my long arming and my embroidery stitches on. So I decided to bind it and give it to her.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's so sweet.
Oh my gosh, that is perfect.
It's like a little scrappy coat.
Now, this is basically a 9 patch, right? So we're going to press our seams towards let's press them towards the green. So that we can nest our 9 patch. Nesting.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, we've got a really fun. Okay, this is so sweet. So Mrs. Theta, 2 years ago, she made critter quilts for 3 grand puppies and 2 grand kitties for Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
The grand pets still use them, and one walks in circles when it's being laundered.
Oh,
He's like, give me
he
my
needs his
coat
lovey back.
It's so sweet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I want to see a
Grammy,
picture
I
of
need my
these.
lovey back.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it. Oh, this is fun. Margaret has been saving the neckerchiefs from the groomer to make my grandpuppy a quilt for riding in the car.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's so smart, because it's like you have so many of those neckerchiefs that they just accumulate.
Right.
Oh
That's
my
a good
gosh.
use for them. I mean, we're quilters. We're gonna put that fabric to good use where we can, right?
Absolutely. That was such a good choice there, Margaret.
Okay, we've got our A sewn to the B's on either side with the notches out. Now I'm gonna sew the curved kite pieces to go across the top and the bottom. And again, those notches are down here. So you just lay them out so that they're sticking out the bottom. And this is a great chain piecing one. Once you get used to this, you could certainly lay out more than one block.
Oh, totally.
And sew them together at a time without getting yourself too crazy.
Oh, love that. Let me see if we have. Okay, and y'all, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot
Yes,
them
shoot
into
me
the
questions.
chats, because we're happy to answer any questions for y'all.
We haven't gotten to the curvy part yet. We're getting there. So work your way up to it.
But in the meantime, let's see. Oh, Georgia says July was stocking making month. Made 43 stockings for
Georgia.
family. 11 of
gosh.
those were for pets and grandpets. That's
I
so
love
cute.
it. I have to make Riley a stocking this year. He doesn't have one.
Oh, that
I'll
would
have
be
to make one for Millie. And I don't know if Gus has one or not.
Yeah, Marley and Winnie, they don't. I don't know. I don't know why I've never done one, but now that we've got the mini stocking, it's like.
Well, I've had a little stocking and I've just used that for Riley, but I haven't made him his own personalized one.
Ah, yes. Well, I think that's the next step, indeed, for Christmas time this year. Let's see. Ooh, Dolly made a log cabin quilt with silos of 2 dogs belonging to my son and daughter-in-law.
Boy, that's a lot of love for a pet to make them a log cabin. Kudos to you.
I know, right? Good job, Dolly.
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. And then we have, Leanna saved up all scraps that were too small to do anything and stuffed a pillow for her large boxer. It turned out to be very heavy.
It does. I made poofs for the kids, big stuffed cubes. And boy, when you stuff them with the scraps, they get heavy.
Yeah. Well, there's even, you can make like a dog bone out of the burp cloth dye. Isn't that
could.
right? And you can just stuff that with scraps.
That with scraps, make that.
That'd be a cute project for
Yeah.
anyone who's
Oh, yeah.
inspired to make some pet
Would
projects.
last about 3 minutes in Millie's life. She's big. She's a puppy. You know, they have those really sharp teeth. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we've got the curved kites all sewn on. So here's the center part of our block. So we've got this part sewn together. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and sew all 3 rows together. So just so I don't forget to tell you what I'm doing. We're working up to those curves. We're building up our courage, right, quilters?
Exactly. Let's see. Oh, Pam has a request. If you could maybe lay, like when we lay everything out on top of the ironing mats for a little bit more contrast.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know, this peach, it is kind of a greeny color. Well,
That nice
dear.
AccuQuilt green is
Yeah.
trying to take over.
Okay. That's a really good idea. Sorry about
Good
that.
idea.
Okay.
No, I think that's just just the nature of the fabrics today. You never know how they're going to
Well,
look.
you know, I've ever since this dye came out. Now, the first one I made was for my granddaughter Ella, before the dye even came out, so I couldn't even tell anybody what I was doing.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and press these seams open now. Yeah, so I couldn't post pictures of it or anything.
Oh my gosh.
And I used pink and peach fabrics that Pam had brought me from England.
Really? Oh my gosh, how cool.
Yeah, and then I used the scraps and made a blanket for her doll. But I much like the lovey that, with the dog, anyway, I didn't grab it back from Ella. So here's the first part, sorry. Okay, there's the first part. Here's the second part. It does show up ever so much better on here. It's really going to show up once I put the white on. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and put the white on. Now, because I pressed my seams to the green on both sides, again, I'm able to do that little nesty thing.
Wow.
And that just means that I'm making sure that these pieces line up really, really well.
Look at that.
Can you see it?
Yes.
There we go.
And if quilters are ever wondering, like which way to press, all of our instructions for our patterns do have
Absolutely.
pressing instructions.
Absolutely.
As well. So if there's ever any questions about that. Every die is so different, or every block, I say.
Every die, every block. But really, I mean, even though the outer pieces are different, it is basically a 9 patch in the center. So it's like if a 9 patch and rob Peter to pay Paul had a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be the glorified 9 patch.
Perfect way to describe that. I love it. Oh, this is so sweet. Miss Barbara says, what started off as a placemat turned into a mat for little Miss Kitty. She likes to lay on the extension of my sewing cabinet while I'm sewing. So, of course, I wanted her to be comfy.
Well, of course.
Of course, Barbara. I'm the same. See, okay, doesn't every quilt project turn into a pet project?
See, this is the thing in my world it does.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Even when you're working on it, it's like, they've
probably
got to test it
I
out.
have pictures of every single quilt with Riley on top of them. So every single one. Okay, I'm just pressing these open,
Okay.
and then I'm going to flip it over and we'll take a look at that 9 patch. So what makes it obviously different is that our corners are these curved kite pieces. Okay? So the next thing that we're gonna do is sew those curves, but don't panic, because it's gonna be good. We're gonna lay out our curved pieces, and you can see how we've got those notches, and they are gonna line up perfectly. And we're gonna use some of our helpers now. Okay?
Yes. All right.
We're gonna use our pins.
Yes.
Here we go. We're gonna use pins. So the first thing when you're sewing curves is that you basically want to always sew with your smile on top. Okay, so this is the curved piece. When it goes through the machine, you want your curved piece to be on the top. That's just gonna help you feed it through and get your best result. Now here's the center notch. See how these notches line up? And I'm gonna put a pin there. And then I'm gonna go over to my notch over here. Again, we line up perfectly. And you got it. I'm pinning.
Pin.
Now, I also like to pin my starting and ending piece on this. So I like to line it up perfectly, and then I like to put a pin there. Now, don't freak out on how I'm putting my pin here, okay? I'm not gonna sew over that pin, but by putting it lengthwise, I feel like I get a little bit more control as it starts under the machine, so that I get a good start. A bad start, you're never gonna get a good seam. So
Want that perfect point at the end.
I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side.
Let's see. Ooh, and it looks like we have a question from Linda. She's wondering why you pressed the seams open that you did.
Oh, just to reduce the bulk. You know what? If you want to press to one side, it's not gonna hurt anything on this particular one. Okay, now I'm doing the same thing at the end that I did with the start, which is put that pin in. I'm gonna be able to pull it out this way, so I won't be sewing over it, but it's gonna help me keep it all on the, keep it all straight, because I want that nice little point at the end.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna do opposite sides so that I can sew these two, then I can press those, then I'll go back and do the two other sides.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
like when you're doing a flying geese, you do all of one side and then you do the other. When you're doing a square and a square, or a square on point, you're gonna sew on one side, two sides, and then sew the other two sides. We're gonna do the same thing here.
Totally.
But again, I'm gonna pin it so that I'm going with my smile on top when it goes through the machine, because I'm gonna make the machine do the hard lifting.
Miss Barb's wondering, could you use Wonder Clips instead?
Well, you could. I usually just use my clips when I bind, but I know a lot of people use them when they sew. For me, I find it easier, especially when I'm working with curves, to use the pins.
Yeah, I feel like it almost gives you that extra added
It's just a little bit.
grounding of the fabric or something. I don't know what the
I don't know.
best
I don't
word
know what
is
it
for
is.
that.
Yeah.
It just secures it so well, and
And part of that is probably because I come from a garment sewing background, and I know garment sewers use pins way more than quilters do.
Yeah.
Quilters who started sewing with quilting typically are like, pins? What would I do with pins? Well, this is the time you really want to use your pins, because it's just going to help you get your best result. Why be frustrated if you don't have to? Because this dye is so good. It sews together so well.
Yes.
All right, now we're ready to go to the machine. Now this is the part you've all been waiting for. Erica's sewing a curve standing up on camera.
woohoo!
Okay. And I'm just going to get it started and pull my pin out.
Ooh, and we've got a question here. I'll wait till you get get going on the piece.
Let me
'cause I
go
don't
on
wanna
here.
Distract. But I've never heard of what a clapper is. Ida's wondering if
clappers
you'd-
are rather magical.
really.
Yes, yes. Okay. So I'm going to put my needle down, get my pin out of there,
Okay.
and then I'm going to keep sewing my curve. So because I've got my curve on top, my smile on top, I'm just going to be feeding this through. And it's just going to kind of follow the curve of the piece underneath it. See?
Wow.
It looked like it was too much fabric and there was no way this was ever going to work. And yet look how smoothly that's feeding through.
And you're just going nice and slow and
Just
steady.
go nice and steady.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you a trick here too. So if you're sewing along and you get to where you think your fabric is kind of bunching up in front of your needle and you're afraid that you're going to have a disastrous bunchy, just pick up your presser foot,
Okay.
releases the tension, releases the fabric, and it smooths it back out again.
Oh, there you go.
But make sure you drop your needle down in the fabric before you do that. Otherwise, you could be sad.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
It's
I can't
not,
tell
it's
you.
not, it's not a fatal error. You're not going to ruin the whole quilt because of it. You'll just be happier if you do it the other way.
Exactly.
So when I get up to that notch, then I can pull that pin out. Okay, now here we are, and we're coming up at the end, and you can see I've got this pin. It's been holding it steady. I'm going to keep my finger here, but I am also going to grab my stiletto. Okay, there's two ends on it. We sell this one on our website. It's actually a really nice one. This one's kind of rubbery, so you can kind of, it grips it. And I'm going to use this to make sure that it stays on a good quarter-inch seam allowance all the way under the needle.
Oh, that's great.
All right. So one's done. One's done. You want to look at it first? I'll sew the other one.
Yeah, let's see them both when,
sew the other
when
one.
they're nice and crisp and
All right. Do we have questions or pet projects, Emily?
We certainly do. We have so many pet projects, and I'm loving it. We have, let's see. Oh, Amy says not purposely, but when I was making it, my cat helped so much and obviously loved it so much that he inherited it. And then
They do kind of select things for themselves.
They really
They really
do.
do, especially cats, I feel like.
Cats are very, yes. Marley is the biggest fan of every time I go to, get any fabric from the fabric store, he always has to test it out when it comes
Right.
home. Make sure that it's
Quality control.
exactly. He
Yeah.
is. He's my little quality control.
It's very important.
I call him my CFO. He's my chief furry officer.
Okay, I love that. I love that so much.
Has
Here
to
we
come
go.
check on the work, etc.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Vicky also made a jacket for her small dog.
Well, it gets cold.
It does. They get so chilly in little dog sweaters and all. Oh my gosh.
No, I would totally make one for Riley, but he is a real pill, and he doesn't like wearing them outside. He'll wear them inside, but he doesn't want to go outside. I don't know whether he thinks he's embarrassed for the other dogs to see him wearing it, or
Maybe he just knows he just looks so good that he
just
doesn't
looks
want to
so
embarrass
good. He doesn't want to
everybody
make everybody jealous in the neighborhood.
else.
I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, Cheryl says that the baby bib dye makes a great bowl mat. You can even rubber back it.
Oh,
She's used our baby bib dye.
that's a good idea.
Oh, that's so clever. And then, with the little rubber backing, it'll stick really nice onto the floor. And oh, that's great.
That is good. Okay, now I've got the two sides done and we're ready to press. Now I like to press, when I look at it like this, you'll see the fabric just kind of wants to press towards the outside to me.
It really does, doesn't it?
I don't see any point in arguing with my fabric. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and let it do that, and I'm going to help it. Oh, I got kind of,
Just let it do what it does.
I'm just going to let it do its thing. Yep.
Let's see. Ooh, we've got some more fun. Let's see. Oh yeah, back to the. I'm wondering what would you use a clapper on your press seams?
Oh, clapper.
I was wondering.
I was supposed to be answering that question. So I'll stop pressing so I don't press my fabric. Clapper is, actually, we were talking about clappers before the show. I was telling Joe what clappers were. They're a piece of wood, and I think they're maple usually, like solid maple.
Yeah.
And they're kind of heavy. They're about this big. I mean, you can have smaller ones or bigger ones.
Sure.
Mine's about this size. I got it from my local quilt shop. It was made here in Nebraska. And after you press something like my seam here, then if you take that piece of wood and you set it there, especially if you're using your wool mat, it works really, really well with it. There's something magical that happens between the wool mat, the fabric, the heat, and that wood piece sitting there, and it makes them so flat. You'll have the flattest blocks you've ever had using those clappers. They're really.
Why they call it a clapper then?
I don't know.
What a name.
To me, I hear clapper and I think, what was the old thing for the light? You're too young. Clap on, clap off. It was like some Popeil thing. Brock was thinking the same thing.
I go right to the flappers. That's what it makes me.
You go to flappers? No, I'm old. There was a thing for your light, for your lamps, and
that's
it was
right,
called the clapper,
light.
and you'd go clap on, clap off. I don't remember the rest of the jingle.
I love that.
Okay. Sorry, Joe, you've just lost complete control of the whole proceedings.
This is what happens when Pam's away.
That's right. You never know what tune I'm going to be singing next. Okay, so look how nice that is. I don't even have my clapper. Super simple. I did it while I was talking. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other two sides.
Perfect.
All right, I'm pinning. While I pin, join Pam and I tomorrow. She's going to come back. She's just taken this one day off. She's going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to have an event at 12 noon Central Time with a sneak peek of the new September Die to Try. So be sure to register for the event on the event page. That way you can qualify for the door prize tomorrow as well. And you'll get that email to remind you. Okay, so I just got way ahead of myself and sewed my things together. Okay. What else is going on, Emily?
We have, let's see, Miss Jackie made her dog Zoe a polar fleece that says, "I love my dog."
Aw.
Very, very sweet. So Gloria, it sounds like we're kind of in the same boat. She made a table runner, not for the cats, but they think it is for them. So they've obviously adopted it.
Of course they do.
Oh, and Leslie, our Leslie says the same thing. She's never intentionally made a quilt for the cat, but they're all his.
Cat feels
by
what
proxy.
she has made.
Yes, little Blackjack is her.
Well, Blackjack
cat's name.
feels that. Blackjack's hysterical.
Ooh,
Blackjack, I think, is the one that stands up on his back legs. Or is that Oscar? I can't remember. But yeah, somebody's cat stands up on his back legs like
I
a
love
human.
that. Marley has the tendency about 4:30 every afternoon, he will climb onto my desk, sit on the keyboard, and climb onto my shoulder for pets and loves. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, they just have minds of their own, don't they?
I'm just pinning here. So
Just pinning.
I'm just pinning. I'm doing the exact same thing that I did the other way. I'm doing those 3 notches, and I'm doing a pin at the beginning and the end of each side.
Right.
So we can keep talking.
Oh, and Joni's wondering too, do you always quilt with a walking foot? Does it make that much of a difference with 2 cotton layers?
You know what? I think it does. And it depends on your machine. I didn't used to always sew with a walking foot. However, if you have a FAF, which is what this one is, it has, and it doesn't call it a walking foot, it calls it, I think, an IDT. But it has this back little black thing that works like a walking foot, and it's actually designed to be used all the time. Now, a traditional kind of walking foot, at least mine doesn't seem to have a good 1/4 inch, and I'd rather have a good 1/4 inch on me. But I will use it if I'm doing quilting, straight line quilting on a quilt,
Okay.
always. Use a walking foot,
Interesting.
always. You don't think it's gonna make a difference until you do it without, and then you look at it and you go,
Yeah, Darlene had me buy my first walking foot when I did a quilt along with the featherweight doctor
as well you should
a
have.
few weeks ago. Yeah, that was, yeah. I didn't even have a 1/4 inch
If you
foot.
only, okay, so the first thing every quilter needs for their sewing machine is a 1/4 inch foot, okay? The second thing you need is a walking foot. And I think the third thing you need is a free motion foot, because I really like doing free motion quilting, but not everybody does.
I'm gonna stitch in the ditch gal all the way.
You know, stitching the ditch is not, it's not easy. It's not easy
Yeah,
because
it's,
you can get off really easily.
oh yeah.
I'm currently into AccuQuilting, so I'll like
Oh,
go,
like echoing the design.
so I would like sew maybe a 1/4 inch away from that seam,
Pretty.
like that.
Yeah.
So that way if I stray, it's not so obvious. All right, we get asked, I'll get back on task here. We get asked a lot of time, this is another question, if AccuQuilt cutter is better than rotary cutting.
Oh my gosh.
So much better, because every single one of these curved pieces is cutting the same, and it's cutting perfectly, and it's cutting those notches. So if you think about going back to garment cutting and cutting those notches by hand, okay, I'm cutting along, I have to cut a notch. So now I have to go like this, and then I have to go like this, and then I have to keep cutting, and then I gotta go like this, and yeah, so much better. No comparison, and so much faster. Plus, you would never be able to cut it well enough to get results as good as what you're gonna get with the die cut.
Yep.
Hands down. All right, so are you looking to get started on your next project? Are you ready to make a glorified 9-patch quilt yet? You can get 35% off the regular price of select categories, including Go cutters, dies, cubes, storage, and books. Don't forget those storage boxes.
Yeah, those storage
Yeah.
boxes are a great
And
tool.
all eligible items are already marked down. No code is needed to redeem the offer. You can also get a fantastic price on our little Gomi fabric cutter starter set for just $89.99. That is a great place to get started. If you've been watching the shows and thinking, when am I going to jump in and start? This is the time. Jump in with a Gomi. Or if you just want something that's lightweight and portable, or something to let the grandkids use or to teach others with, you can't get a better deal.
And
You
the
just
Gomi, doesn't it use like 70% of our dies?
Yeah, it's over 60% of our dies,
Yeah.
and there's so much like the 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9-inch cubes.
I'll go through it.
Yeah,
It's great.
so there's so many things, so
Definitely
you can do a
good
lot.
day. Yeah.
You can do a lot. Okay, so today we're going to give away one of my favorite glorified 9-patch dies. You always want to be sure you register for future events on the AccuQuilt event page. That's how you get your choice to win. Okay, so now I'm going to sew these last 2 curved pieces onto either side of the block. All right, and then I will press. So what's going on, Miss
Perfect.
Emily?
Well, okay, I have never heard, have you heard of a schnoodle? Because Nancy's,
That's a Schnauzer Poodle mix.
oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
That's like the ultimate in hypoallergenic dogs right there.
Really? Well, I need
Yeah, and not going to shed.
a little schnoodle. Well, Nancy's daughter made quilts for Schnoodle, her Schnoodle named Star.
Oh, it's a great name.
Oh, Tammy's making her little Shih Tzu named Tootsie Roll, a bone-shaped puff blanket dish placemat, and a tennis shoe. Oh my gosh, I love that name, Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll. We could have that be a question sometimes, just the names of pets, or how did you get your pet's name?
Yes, how did your pet get their name? That's such a great question. And then, oh, Kathy made a quilted harness for her best friend's dog.
Oh,
I bet you could do that with strip cutters.
oh, there's a die for that.
There's a die for that. Ooh, let's see. Oh, yes, that's the polar fleece.
We all love our animals. You know, we have a chat channel here at AccuQuilt for tech brands for all of our pictures of all of our pets.
Yes. All the
love our
pets, all
pets.
the days. I know we just had International Dog Day and International Cat Day in the past couple weeks. That's been so fun seeing everybody's pets in their elements.
Riley got to come to a show one time. I think maybe that was Dog Day last year. I
Could
don't
have
remember.
been. My goodness. Should have brought Marley. No, I'm just kidding. Marley would
Now he knows. Now he knows when I'm, like grab my backpack in the morning, he just runs into his bed under my desk and he's like, "See you, bye.
Peace
Oh,
out,
you're
sauerkraut.
leaving. See ya. Come back in time for lunch."
Oh, that's cute. Let's see. Oh, so Miss Ann did a 9-patch, 4 patches with sashing using the 8-inch cube
Whoop, whoop.
and
Please.
2.5
please.
and 1.5 strip cutters using cat fabric fat quarters.
Cat fabric.
Now she needs to make another quilt for the new, Dachshund Hound puppy.
Yeah, you can't show favoritism. If you're making something for one, you got to make it for everybody.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, we have all of these little goodies that I'm using on the set on the website. So the stiletto, the pins, those
gosh.
great Karen K. Buckley scissors, they're all there. Just throw them in your cart today.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a perfect day to do it. This is so cute. Gloria wants to know if you're wearing color street nails, Erica.
No, these are okay. I get questions about my nails. I do my own dip at home, and I use Revel. And no, I'm not an influencer from them. But hey, if they'd like to send me a couple boxes of nail dip powder to wear,
Wouldn't that be nice?
who would say no? But yeah, I do my own at home. I think
so
this
cool.
color is called Margot.
Margot.
I figured it was pretty light. I better wear it before the end of summer. But it could emerge again, say in January when it's icy and cold too.
Right?
Who knows?
Ooh, lots of folks wanting clappers now on our site. That's exciting.
We should
Who
have
knows?
clappers on our site. Clappers are fun.
I know. Well,
Great.
they sound like they're fun. I just want to know. I need to do some research on the
I don't know
history
why
of
they
how
work
it's
like they work.
Yeah.
And until I saw one, okay, true story. I went to an event, a grand opening at one of our local stores here, and a friend of mine was already there, and she took me by the hand and dragged me over there. She goes, "You have to get one of these. Watch him. See what he does with these. These are amazing."
Oh, wow.
Well, who am I to say no?
Now, I love the color palette that you chose for your clarified 9 patch. I think this is just so sweet.
You know, I wanted to do one in these kind of 30s reproduction fabrics ever since the dye came out, and I just had not gotten around to it. So this was the impetus for getting me started. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and let my fabric have the say in how we press. And I'm gonna press this. I caught my corner.
Erica.
Okay, caught the corner in this. Dang it. But you know what? We all make mistakes. Okay, so if you do catch the little corner, that's, even with my pin, that can happen. That's another reason why I like to pin. Because you see how it just got that little bit?
Oh, yeah, you just kind of caught right in there. Oh, my gosh.
All right, never mind.
I'm cracking up laughing over here, Erica. We have a viewer, Maureen, who says that her granddaughter has a new puppy, Poodle, and the poodle's name is Q-Tip.
So when my daughter and son-in-law got Millie, they had a family discussion on her name. And John Robert wanted to name her Cutie Pie.
Oh.
So her name is, and then his sister, Blake's sister, wanted them to name her Phoebe because she just got a mini Bernie Doodle. So mini Bernie's Mountain Doodle. And she named him Joey, like from Friends. And so she thought that they should name Millie Phoebe so that she was another Friends character.
Of course.
So if you ask John, he will tell you that Millie's name is really Millie Cutie Pie Phoebe.
Oh, my God. Well, all right. It's a lot. It's quite the name.
That's a lot of name for a little.
name.
Well, and again, she's a lot of dogs, so there you go. Okay,
Fitting.
I got it done.
Woohoo.
All right. Now, all of our videos live on Facebook and YouTube pages, so if you want to go back and watch one, you can. If you want to go back and watch me sewing curves and sewing my end and having to unsew it on camera, you can. Did you know that we also have a blog? We have a blog, Emily.
We've got a fantastic
We do.
blog.
It is a great place to find inspiration, tutorials, patterns, sewing tips, and even more ways to use all of the dyes that you have and that you love. You can meet our go-getters. They write great tutorials. They have exclusive patterns on there. You can get to know the team behind the brand. You can join in on conversations. It's great.
And you're one of our
the one
bloggers.
yesterday I wrote, it's fabulous, of course. No, I wrote the one yesterday was all about temperature quilts. So if you're not familiar with temperature quilts, go ahead and watch that. It's also what our show yesterday was about. So go to the blog, and there's a link right in there to watch yesterday's show as well.
That was
Learn all about temperature
show.
quilts.
You guys had a great time.
You know, they're really fun, and they're a really great way. There's just so much flexibility and so many ways you can go with it.
Yeah.
And there are different quilts featured in the blog than the ones that we showed on the show. So you want to be sure you see both. Now, I've got 4 made already. I only need 5 more, and I will have the 9 that I need to make our dart around wall hanging behind me. So let's think outside of the box, though, with this project, because this is a great, this is, the glorified 9 patch is the friend that every other bob die needs, okay? So we're gonna take a look at those. So we've got this one up here. This is a 9-inch finish block. So if we've got other 9-inch finish blocks, they're gonna be natural friends. So let's take this one. Okay, I've got a whole lot of things in my hand.
Oh, would you look at that?
Just kind of pop it up there. So there's our schoolhouse. So I was a school teacher. We joked about me being the substitute teacher the last time I was on. So here's the schoolhouse. Look how fun that is.
That's so cute. And you could.
They're both very classic blocks. Do the glorified 9 patch in maybe red and black.
Totally.
And it's got such a modern feel to it. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now this next one, this is truly a match made in heaven. This is our starry path.
And it came from the
And
heavens
look-
because it's a star.
Look how well this all lines up together. Those points are going to line up just perfectly on the corners. This is truly a great one. So you wouldn't have to just do one. You could do the starry path maybe in the corners in the center. Do the glorified 9 patch around. That curve is going to serve to just frame everything in that little circular frame. Look how great that looks.
So cool. And I love how the colors almost like that block just happens to echo all of the colors that
does.
are already in that quilt.
It does.
So
This is not planned. This is my first test block I sewed with the starry path.
That's a
and
really
it went together perfectly. It's a great die. Okay, now maybe you want something a little different. So we're going to take a solid piece. So we have that Go Big 9-inch finish square die, and you could put some solid squares in there. Again, maybe you want to do it in the corners too, or the center, and then you can put some embroidery on there. So fall's coming up. There's the Go Pumpkins.
oh, wouldn't
That would be fun. Do fall colors around it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's look. Oh, it's falling down. Stab, stab. Okay, this isn't really a design wall. This is just me hoping it was a design wall. Okay. So I'm just going to hold these up. But here's this great pumpkin patch truck. Look how good that is. I'm afraid if I let go. No, yeah, no. I've gotten rid of all my static. But I thought of one other that would be really good. So how about the farm animals? Wouldn't that be cute?
Oh, adorable.
I think that'd be kind of cute with my reproduction fabric up here, kind of that feed sack look.
That would be adorable.
So,
That kind of the barnyard look.
yeah,
Very country
I think
classic.
that'd be kind of fun. So you can do so much with this fabric by switching up your fabrics too. So this, behind us, we've got great bright batiks. Pam was sweet enough to let me borrow Oakley's quilt that she made using this. I think this must have been hanging on her wall because it would look a little bit not this nice if it had been in full use all this time. But this is all grunge, Pam's grunge, but in great little sherbet pastel colors.
Oh yeah, those are gorgeous.
And I love the back too, because look what she did. She took her leftover fabric and she pieced the back. Isn't that fun?
Perfect.
And you can really see the quilting. She did your stitch in the ditch to really accentuate that circular design. I just love it. And then she didn't do stripe binding because it wasn't this year, but she did do a flange binding. So there we go. Next best thing, right?
There you go, yes.
All right, I made one, like I said, for Ella in pinks and peaches, and it was before the dye even came out. I couldn't even share with anybody.
Oh, no.
All right, well, we hope you're gonna make some with this dye too, and we want you to be sure and share your projects with us on social media platforms. We like seeing what you create. Emily, what hashtags should they use?
Yeah, you're just going to want to post your projects using the hashtag AccuQuiltBuilt, all one word. And that will let us see your beautiful projects that you've created.
We want to see, everybody else wants to see too. Now this is some exciting news. We are sending our AccuQuilt team, some of our AccuQuilt team, including Miss Pam and myself, to the Des Moines Quilt Show next month, which is, after all, next month starts tomorrow. It's in the middle of September. Is there a local quilt show in your area you'd like to see us at? Go to the events page and fill out that survey. Yeah, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be, we're hoping to have a little meet and greet and get to talk to everybody while we're there. And our great retail partner, Inspired to Sew, is gonna be running the booth there, and they are amazing.
You guys are going to have a blast.
They always have the best samples. I can hardly wait to go and see. I have not been to a quilt show for a really long time.
Awesome.
All right, so that's coming up. But join Pam and I Tuesday. That's the 6th. It's right after Labor Day at 12 noon Central Time for the official launch of September's Dye to Try. We're going to have some amazing inspiration for you and a great trunk show, and you're going to get to see all the things then. Be sure to register for the event for your chance to win a door prize. Okay, we are having a great Labor Day sale. We're all getting ready for holidays, so stop and think about the projects that you need to make and stock up. This is the time to do it. You can get 35% off the regular price of select categories, including select Go Cutters, dies, cubes, storage, and books. We have some great books. All the eligible items are already marked down. There's no code needed at checkout. Don't forget, you can also pick up our smallest and most portable fabric cutter, the Gomi Fabric Cutter Starter Set, for just $89.99. The starter set includes 2 great dies. It's a 3-inch finished half square triangle and 3-inch finished quarter square triangles to make over 180 patterns, the cutting mat you need, and 5 patterns in the box to get you started. It's already marked down, no code needed. All right, Miss Emily. I think we've conquered our fear of these curves, and it's time to give away one of my favorite dies, the glorified 9 patch.
Is it time?
Who's gonna get it?
Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Let's announce our winner. So today's lucky winner of the die is going to be, drum roll please, Blanche T. of Sullivan, Alabama.
Congratulations, Blanche. Oh, I hope you have fun with it. It's so fun. All right, any last questions?
You know what? I think we've
good?
put everyone at ease with how simple those curves. You just made it look so easy.
Easy. Get the die and make your curves. It's great. Don't worry, Pam will be back next week. She should be all refreshed, and she can tell us all about what she made over the weekend at her retreat. So be sure to join her. She's going to show you how to cut and sew a block using our newest die to try that we will sneak you a peek of tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Miss Emily, for keeping me on track. To the team here, Mr. Kenyon, Mr. Brock, producer, director Joe, and everybody that's moderating. Thanks so much. Remember, sneak peek tomorrow. Be sure to come back because we are here. We are going to show you that sneak peek, and we're going to help you cut time so you can quilt more. Bye, everybody.